Liliana from Lily's Garden Store, and welcome to our Dahlia garden.
So tell me a little bit about your setup here, your cloth and your irrigation and
Yep.
your soil.
For sure. So if you want to take a little close-up look, we have irrigation drip tape coming from a well that we're super lucky to have on the property. So we're not using city water or anything like that. It's all well water. And it all is pumped from the well into a water collection cistern. And from the cistern, we pump it into the fields. So we run 2 tapes per row, 2 drip tapes, and we plant our dahlias 3 per row. So it goes in between the plants, and it seems to be enough water for them to thrive. So we use straw as a mulch for the flowers, and we use pretty good quality landscape fabric here to cover the rows, so we don't have to be worried about mud or trekking that in the house or anything like that. We can really use like any shoes when we work in the field. And so when we plant the flowers, when we put the dahlia, we started them from tubers, like 99% we started them from tubers. And then in the planting hole, we put a nice heaping scoop of compost. Then we add our own custom mix of fertilizers. We prefer to go more towards organic, like bone meal, feather meal, worm castings, that sort of thing. And then during the growing season, we add a little bit more shake and feed to go through to go on the soil. And we also have a liquid fertilizer injection system in our watering. So we will run fish emulsion and some other water-soluble fertilizers during the growing season, just to give our flowers a nice boost and lots of energy and get their fridge all filled up so they thrive and they put on the show like you see here.
With every watering?
No. We usually do this around once a month. Once a month, and then in September we did a watering with a 16-16, so we don't put nitrogen back into the soil because we want the tubers to preserve better during the storage, and it's recommended to remove nitrogen from the fertilization schedule. So we did that, and then right about here we stop. In September we stop fertilizing, but they still have so much energy to bloom and rebloom, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. Like these flowers, we cut them every week. We cut thousands of stems off the field, but look at they resprout, they put on multiple buds every single time, and it's just amazing. It's such an amazing cut and come again flower that I don't think anything can compare.
And I know people are going to ask, where do you get your cloth from when you buy it?
We work with Dubois Agro-Innovation.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our irrigation system from them. We got our pumps. We got our landscape fabric. We really like working with them because they have professional staff that gives you customized solutions, and they can give you a package. So you would send them the sketch of your field with the dimensions, how far away the well is or the cistern and everything. They will calculate and give you a package with everything in it, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel or work on it by yourself, which helped. So we appreciated their input for sure.
So I see you have things planted in color blocks. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Of course. So because we cater mainly to the event florists and to the wholesale floristry business, then we organized our field so we have color blocks to ease cutting and harvesting the stems. So we started with a row of whites and blushes and creams, slowly transitioning into pastel pinks, then lavenders, peaches and apricots. Then we go into more saturated colors like reds and wines and purples. And then in the back we have all the funky things like anemones and water lilies and some collarettes, some of the flowers that we're testing. So the front of the field is mainly organized so the production is quick and efficient, and we can do the harvesting all in one full sweep.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love how you grow so many of the same variety.
I'm absolutely
you don't see
obsessed
that.
about this Milena fleur. I don't know if you can pick up the shimmer on the petals on it. Maybe with the setting sun you can see the glitter. It wasn't sprayed, nothing was done to the flower, but it naturally has this little shimmer and sparkle in its petals. and it's something very unique, and it's really appreciated by our floral designers because there's pretty much nothing like that existing on the market. Maybe there's a few of the flowers that can do the same presentation of shimmer, but it's not really much. And they also love this particular variety, Milena Fleur, because it can pull together an arrangement with many different colors that it has on its petals. So it can pull the apricots, the pinks, the soft creams, and it's nice bridge flower for different kind of styles. It's so versatile that it's almost can be used as a neutral. It's nice and desaturated, and it's soft, and it can be really nice flower for wedding.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, it's quite a bright color for what I would think that would normally be popular. But like you say, you can pick different colors out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Or it can be considered almost a neutral. Yeah.
And here we have 2 rows of Linda's Baby, one of my all-time favorite varieties and our customers' favorite variety. We always get so many orders every week for up to 8 buckets every week. So it's a beautiful, soft peach color, and our customers can't have enough of it. And it's amazing as a cut flower because look at the stem length at it. Like look where it starts branching out on the plant. The stems are nice and strong. The flower is just the petal perfection. It starts with a brighter shade of pink, and then it slowly fades to a more apricot-y, peachy color. During the growing season, it transitions a little bit from cool tone pink to a warm tone pink, and both are absolutely beautiful, and it's a very popular variety in our tuber sale as well.
Yeah.
This is another cut flower variety that we've been absolutely obsessed about. So this one is called Salmon Runner, and this is its cousin called Pink Runner. Salmon Runner has this richer, more saturated mauve with a bit of salmon undertone to it, and then the Pink Runner is a more soft shade of pink that fades to a blush. And these are producing like crazy. You can cut stems upon stems from them, and then they're branching out, they're regrowing stems, they're pumping blooms. It's a really amazing cut flower variety that we highly recommend if you would like to enjoy your flowers, not just in the garden, but also in your home. Okay. So I would like to point the length of the stems on Megandine. It's something really unusual. Like this could be a stem. This could be a stem. It's insane. Look at these stems and these guys. It's very easy to harvest. You can get a whole lot of stems from one, even like all these plants were started from a single tuber, just so you guys understand. They were pinched back in the spring, and then look at what it does. It flushes. At the same time, you can harvest maybe 10 stems every week from it. It's a very highly productive lavender, and the color is just very soft and beautiful and very usable in all kinds of arrangements.
Yeah, it is an interesting color, and I agree, it's one of the only ones of this shade. What do you pair it with if you were to make a market bouquet or something like that? What would you pair it with?
Michaela Miranda and with some whites. Michaela Miranda is a dinner plate, but it's a beautiful white with a lavender picotee on its petals, and it's my daughter's favorite flower. It's there at the back, and it just combines with the lavender so beautiful. It's very feminine and very soft and beautiful.
So I see you've got some larger bloom varieties here as well.
Of course. We grow quite a selection of dinner plate dahlias. One of the reasons why we grow is that because our clients love to grow them in their gardens, and we grow them for tuber propagation and tuber sale. However, our florist customers love to use them in their oversized flower arrangements for entryways, for arches, for big tablescapes and things like that. And one of the tricks we're using to make them have smaller blooms is that we do not disbud them. If you look here, they have side buds which were not removed, and this is the reason why they have more usable size flower. And look at the strong stems that they have. This is the Kids Perfection variety. This is Otis Thrill. Generally speaking, it's a dinner plate, and it can be used and grown as such. Or if you keep cutting them down, side branches will produce smaller side, very usable flowers in beautiful shades. Like this is a soft coral, very beautiful blush pink, and then the white with the outside petals in this very beautiful blush. It's perfect for bridal. I just use them in straight bunches and combine them in bouquets together. It's just gorgeous. But once again, these are the cut flower. Sorry, these are the dinner plates, which we use as cut flowers, and we tend to use the side branches, and they really have nice strong stems and pretty good vase life as well. This is another dinner plate dahlia variety called Nicala Miranda, and it's this beautiful soft lavender color that has the inner side of the flower in white, and then lavender picotee around it. The flowers are again dinner plate size. However, if you keep cutting them for cut flowers or don't disbud, the flower size is going to grow smaller, and they're going to produce more usable size blooms for your flower arrangements and your bouquets. And I highly recommend growing it if you love the pastels and cool tones, because again, in dahlias this kind of coloration is not very frequently found, and I think this one is a beautiful example of a feminine soft feminine colored flower.
You think that's why it's so popular? Because I hear a lot of people talking about this one.
Yeah, my daughter, she's 7, and when she saw this, she automatically cut it and started playing with it. She went into her own little dreamland and played princess with it and all those things. So I thought if it got my daughter's attention, then definitely is going to be a well-loved popular flower and everybody can enjoy, especially if you have daughters. If you have small kids, I'm sure they're going to be absolutely in love with this flower.
Okay, so I see that these 2 rows have a support.
Yep.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about that, as well as the support for the rest of the garden, and also the 2 varieties here that are on either side of you.
These are really, really beautiful varieties. This one is Pink Pearl, and she's absolutely amazing. She has really beautiful coloration. She starts a little bit more pinkier in the beginning, and then as the days get shorter, she becomes more white. And it's a beautiful wedding type flower. We get so many orders and so many rave reviews about it. It keeps getting ordered every week. This girl here is Breakout, and I know this coloration is very similar to Cafe Olay, and I know the wedding designers love sometimes to pair it with Cafe Olay, just to give a little bit of twist on that. And like I said a little bit earlier, she's a dinner plate. However, when you keep cutting the stems, they produce smaller size blooms, more usable. And then look at the stem lengths and look how strong and healthy that looks. It's gorgeous. It's so easy to harvest, so easy to arrange. It's neutral, again, can be paired with pretty much anything. It brightens up any arrangement and definitely brightens up the garden.
So speaking of overwintering, so what do you do? How do you store your tubers?
So we're located in Zone 5. We're located near King City, Ontario. I know we have many questions. I have 2 questions every day. Where are you located? We're in Canada. We're in Ontario. We are near King City. And yes, we're in Zone 5. So we absolutely have to dig our tubers, and we lift them every fall. We use automation, so we would use a tractor with an undercutter, a row lifter, who would safely and gently undercut and lift the whole entire row, same as you would use for harvesting carrots or sweet potatoes, and that leaves the carrots intact because the depth goes in the soil at 16 inches, or I don't know, very, very deeply, so it's supposed to cover, and the width of the undercutter would be like 48 inches. So that should be enough space for the tubers. Any of them sticking out of the row, they will be safely lifted, and then the soil will be loose enough for us to just pick the tubers and put them in the harvest crates. We do not split them in the fall, just because we have a lot of farm chores to deal with in the fall, and we need to amend the soil, bring the compost. We plant our peonies, we plant roses, we plant tulips and daffodils and all that kind of things. So we usually split them during the winter and early spring, and then we mail them out to our tuber order customers in April and May.
So Liliana, tell me about this variety. It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I'm super excited. This has been a discovery of the year. In fact, this variety is called Fenerbahce. It's a recent Dutch introduction. I know we all have worries about Dutch, but she's been a really good one. And as a cut flower farmer, I'm obsessed about the stems. Look at the stem length on this. Like this is, the plant just liberally gives you nice, thick, sturdy stems where you can cut. And it has an amazing vase life for an anemone, right? Like it's a real gem in our field and we highly recommend it. It can pull a bouquet on its own. You can just bunch them together and at different stages of opening, they have slightly different, a depth to them, so you can combine them together and they will look fantastic in the vase. And also there's a little trick, so if one flower came a little bit past, you can remove the outer petals and look at that cute flower on its
Oh,
own.
that's really cute.
It's just
That's a
full
good
of
idea.
texture, and I like how it's at the same time it's kind of subdued and desaturated, but this little golden puffy center brings all the fun back to the table. So
How
it's
do you
super
spell
fun.
that name?
It's Fenna and then Baije, I think, but it's
Okay.
on our website, so
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
totally double check. Yeah, it's been amazing. We
Beautiful.
loved it, and our florists are also obsessed. It's a very fun designer piece. You can't find anything like that everywhere for sure.
I noticed you have another variety just a little bit
Oh,
down
yeah.
here that's kind of
Mambo.
similar.
It's absolutely fantastic. We've been growing it for quite a few years now, and it all began with my husband's mom's garden. She was growing it for 10 years just in her own garden, and then we've been splitting tubers and multiplying stock, and look at that patch, it's phenomenal. So it's also been used, and we cut it for cut flower use for arrangements, and just as the previous one, this can pull a bouquet of its own. Look at them bunched together. It's just so much texture and visual interest that they bring into any flower arrangements that it draws your eyes in and you can't stop staring at it. It's super fluffy and girly, and it adds so much fun and vibrancy. I love it.
So tell me a little bit about what you do here.
We have a cut flower farm located near Great Toronto area. We're basically just 30 minutes away, and we supply wholesale florist business. We work with a few distributors and a few retail florists, just as well as event designers. So this is our cut of the week. Usually it's much larger. This week is a bit smaller, but here you go. Typically we cut on Mondays and Wednesdays, or Mondays, depending on the order sizes. And our our cut flower farm here is mainly dahlias. We grow around 4,500 plants of dahlias, and this season they were able to produce a couple thousand stems per week, and that didn't satisfy the demand in the slightest. So next year we're hoping to double production. We'll see how that goes, but that's the plan. And yeah, we do have a standing order for weekly delivery of the whole harvest, however farm produces, to deliver to our wholesale clients. So that's pretty cool. They love our flowers. They can't have enough of them, and we can't satisfy the demand again. They order twice as much as we can deliver, but that's that. We can do what we can do.
So if you're going to be doubling what you're growing next year, are you going to have any tubers for sale? Because I see you normally sell tubers, right?
Oh, absolutely. We do enjoy selling tubers and spreading the love, because look at this. This has to be going and growing in every garden. This has to be going everywhere. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And definitely we sell tubers. You can find them on our website at www.liliesgardenstore.com. And usually we accept pre-orders during fall, winter, and spring, and then we ship our tubers when the weather permits, and that's usually mid of April, beginning of May.
But what's this beautiful orange variety here? What have we got here in some of these buckets?
Oh my gosh, this beautiful, most gorgeous orange variety is the most basic flower you can find, and it's Cornell Bronze.
Yeah,
This one
gorgeous.
is Cornell. It's absolutely phenomenal. We can't have enough of them. They just, they're very stunning. They offset any color. It's such depth, and I'm out of words. These flowers produce stems like crazy. They rebloom. They're very reliable. We highly recommend growing these because you're going to be having plants that are covered in blooms. I would think even from a single tuber, your plant will have like at least 10 blooms at all times, even if you keep cutting them. So definitely highly recommend. Oh, this one is a little controversial flower called Senior's Hope. Name is also a bit strange, but there you go. This flower, I know lots of people don't appreciate because it tends to have this little green button center. However, we noticed that there is a little not very widely known fact is that if a flower has a green button center, it will last a long time in the vase. And usually, Senior's Hope is the last one standing.
That's
in a
interesting. I
bouquets.
did not know that.
Yeah, there you go. So definitely it's amazing. It's highly recommended. It blooms and reblooms. It does produce stems on a shorter side, so you really have to pinch early and cut deeply so it will rebloom. And look at this cute bumblebee. But what we have amazing feedback from our floral designers on it, because look, every flower has its little unique features. It looks quirky, it looks glamorous, it looks moody. It brings depth to any other pastels in the composition. It just adds so much flair. We love it, and our customers are absolutely obsessed. Definitely a bestseller as tubers and as cut flowers. Highly recommend. 5 stars.
Interesting.
Yes.
And then that's another bucket of Cornell bronze.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
assuming. And then what do we have
This
here?
is Linda's Baby.
Yeah.
We have 4 buckets of that. And
Well, isn't it interesting how it comes in
Yeah.
various shades as it ages?
It does vary, and it's in every of its manifestations. It's a gorgeous pastel shade of soft pink or soft apricot. It's beautiful.
And then these two we saw
Yeah,
already.
we saw them. This is Fenna Beige and this is Mambo. Look at them together in the bucket. They could totally carry a bouquet of their own, like I said. They will fill a vase, and so many big, good stems and a great vase life. Highly recommend those two. This one is called Caitlin's Joy, and it's a great bridge flower between some purples and some peaches in your arrangement or in your garden. It has petals that almost have artistic brush strokes in them, and you can just stop and stare at how perfect it is. It's just gorgeous. Yeah. And
then we
have
saw
the salmon runner and pink runner grouped together, and again they're very beautiful. They complement each other, and I believe they're cousins. There's also a red runner that I'm hoping to get for us for next year, and I can show you what they look like. So when the flower opens fully, he does like a little ballerina tutu situation. I really like that. See here? Like it does.
Sorry, which one is this?
This is salmon runner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I like how it opens and changes shape a little bit. And pink runner doesn't really fully open like that, but it's still very good cut flower, nice strong stems, a great rebloomer, just a very beautiful, vibrant, vigorous, strong plant. Absolutely recommend these two ladies. They're really gorgeous.
And is this a
Sweet
Crichton
Suzanne.
honey? Sweet Suzanne.
Sweet
Yeah.
Suzanne, she's also one of our best sellers. I believe so. I read somewhere that she's a sport of Linda's Baby, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But I like how it has little notched petals and very soft coloration. Also, almost like a neutral will go together with pretty much any shade. And it's a very soft, feminine flower shape. I believe it's a ball shape. And it has a nice, again, like it's a strong cut flower, good rebloomer, nice strong stems, beautiful in the vase.
So if there is one variety we could get into your hands, like right this very minute, that you don't have already,
Oh,
what would it be?
Jesus, I have everything, don't I?
It looks like you
yeah,
have
we
everything.
grow-
Yes, that's
we
true.
grow over 300 dahlia varieties, in fact. So, I've been trialing a lot, and I don't suppose I need anything else, but we'll see. We'll see. Another thing that I would highly recommend, dahlia variety, it's called Hillcrest Fusion. Maybe you already have it, maybe not, but she's one of those absolutely perfect cut flowers. She has tall, strong stems, beautiful soft coloration. I like how petals open all the way back to the stem, and I like how the flower is firm, so it's not easy to bruise the flower in transport or in the vase or however that happens, but it's gorgeous. It's just pure perfection. That's another one of my favorites. It's called Sefton Silver Top. And again, it's a very interesting variety in terms that it has a cool tone coloration to it, and it has this very subtle transition between the white and the lavender pink, with lavender picotee petals in
Yeah, that's
in the
nice.
middle.
That's
It's just
almost,
beautiful.
it looks almost like a stellar form, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's interesting with
has-
those long petals.
yes, it sure does. And
That's
they
a
do open
very
all the
nice,
way back to the stem as well.
yeah, that's
So,
a very nice form of it. I've
yes.
seen it before, but not with that nice a form. So you've got good
Interesting.
stock.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to increase and maybe take so many cuttings as to fill a row of 100 so for next year, because I'm sure it's going to sell as cut flowers. We usually add it to our assorted buckets, and I've seen florists wowed and smitten, and they definitely request more of that, except we have not many plants this year, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, but this one is highly recommended, and I've heard really positive feedback on that.
So what are you going to do to try and get more?
We usually take cuttings in spring. I was hoping this spring to have a cutting sale. However, we have to reserve all the cuttings to propagate on the farm because we definitely needed all of those. And for the next year, we're definitely going to increase stock from cuttings, and we do stem cuttings and leaf cuttings. And we also take cuttings throughout the growing season. When we pinch, we can root that little pinched bit. And we're obsessed about rooting everything as well, because it's free plants, free propagations. Why not? It's there. If you have little magic green fingers, anything can happen.
And when are you going to start your tubers to start taking these cuttings?
So usually we start around February. We have a very good indoor grow rack set up. We have like 5 grow racks, very big aluminum grow racks with the grow lights and all the mylar film and everything. So we do take a lot of cuttings. It's a very easy way to propagate your stock, and as a farmer, definitely it's hard to find a good healthy stock of tubers, and when you nailed a good plant, you trialed it, it looks healthy, so why not just take all the cuttings that you possibly can.
And do you put it on bottom heat? And do you use
We-
root hormone, or do
We
you just go without?
It depends on the season. So in February we do put it on the bottom heat with heat mats. However, going through May, then that becomes unnecessary because we run the grow racks up until June to take those cuttings.
Yeah.
So we take as many as we can possibly do. And then, yeah, we do bottom heat in February, March, and then depending on the season, sometimes we get hot spells and then we just kind of turn them off. Just depending on the situation, common sense. Yeah.